So in contrast to the traditional view that you were talking about at the beginning, where we say that the ideas surrounding Jesus cannot possibly be part of the Second Temple period authentic Jewish culture, now it seems almost as if Jesus fits in perfectly to that framework. And I'll just mention that you have an article entitled "The Angel Yahuel and the Two Messiahs of the Apocalypse of Abraham," which deals in more detail with developing ideas of possibly two messiahs.
Yes.
And how there might be
one Messiah for Israel and the other Messiah for the nations. This is the article is you can get it in my site in Academia Edu.
Yes, perfect. So that's one for people to look into if they're interested in digging further. But let's go to your latest book.
Yes.
And we have that here to show people. Machaloket HaMashiach, the Messiah controversy. I will say very briefly a few words about it and then let you explain it to us. It deals with the development of the messianic idea over time. And I found it fascinating that one of your later chapters, maybe the last one, deals with Elohut, Mashiachut, Vesevel. So divinity, messiahness, and suffering. So you trace from the very origins of the earliest mentions of a figure who is anointed to later developments where we combine these disparate but somehow related and overlapping concepts. And you go beyond that as well, and you talk about the development of Jewish expectations in the medieval and modern period. And the subtitle is, I think, for whom are the Jews waiting? So for whom are Jews waiting when we talk about a Messiah? And it's maybe not just one idea of a Messiah that Jews are waiting for. Maybe there are many different ideas. And I think at the back you also have, it's probably on the back cover, yes, you have various questions that the book seeks to answer. Will the Messiah actually come? Or is the Messiah expected to come? Is the Messiah divine or human, king or priest? Will the Messiah be resurrected? Is the Messiah necessarily Davidic? So these are fascinating questions for Jews and Christians to consider, especially when we look at the broad sweep of history. We're talking about thousands of years of development of these concepts. So it's better if they hear from you. I'll let you tell us about this. I don't know where you want to start with the idea in the Tanakh, or
I would say yes. In Tanakh, we have. I basically I would say I say like this, that actually we can. This is the Hebrew Bible in Hebrew, and you can see that I opened it in the beginning of the book of Isaiah, and this is the first part in the Hebrew Jewish Bible, which contains the Torah and the historical books, and then we have the prophets and the Psalms. So my main idea is that there is a debate between the two parts about the messianic idea.
Fascinating.
That in the Psalms and in the prophets, we have an expectation, we have a belief in a figure of a royal, mainly royal figure, who is described as having, I would say, heavenly qualities. He is described as the Son of God in Psalm 2, probably in the original version of Psalm 110. Sit on my right hand, and then probably the original version was that you came from the womb. I brought you. I have begotten you from the womb in the early morning, like dough. Bashachar mirechem ketal yeliditicha. This is probably this was the original version of Psalm 110. but now it is changed in the Hebrew version. But in the Septuagint, still we can see the original. So this is a very strong claim about a royal figure who is in some psalms described as eternal. And when Isaiah is talking about the coming child, the coming savior, he is applying the same terminology. He calls him El Gibor. He's like El, like a god.
Right.
Jeremiah, following him, gives him the name Adonai Tzidkenu. Yahweh is our righteousness.
Yes.
So he is very much elevated. This figure of king above the regular human situation. However, I believe that the first part, mainly the Torah, rejects the idea of elevation of any human being to a situation of semi-divine status.
Right.
Even on Moses himself, Moses is the bigger figure of the Torah, and it is said that he died in the age of 120, even though his health was perfect. 120. I follow scholar of the Hebrew University, Livingstone, who claims this is connected to Genesis 6, where God is saying, my spirit would not reside in human beings forever, and there will be limitation of time, 120 years.
Yes.
This is to make a clear distinction between the divine and the human. God is eternal. We, human beings, even Moses, we are not eternal. We will die. We will die. It is very significant for the Torah to make this clear border between them, the human and the divine. It is impossible in the imagination of the Torah that God will be involved in any, I would say, sexual or semi-sexual activity. The idea that God will have a son, a biological son from the womb, as it is described in Psalm 110 in the Greek text, is impossible to the Torah.
Shalom, I'm here to invite you to come with us on a journey of discovery into the Jewish context and culture that will forever change the way you read and interpret the Bible. As you slowly go through our self-paced, on-demand program in Jewish studies relevant for Christians, you will gain ability to discover the original meaning of the biblical texts. You will see the nuance hidden behind our best and faithful translations, and to interpret these ancient texts in their original meaning. At Israel Bible Center, we provide you with the state-of-the-art, simple-to-use technology. This way, you can study on your own from the comfort of your own home, even towards your certificate in the Jewish context and culture. This study will strengthen your ministry as you continue to serve God. We will guide you through our large collection of crash courses by our fascinating faculty and roundtable talks with leading world scholars. Our weekly Israel Bible magazine, as well as Israel Bible podcast that focuses on the land of Israel, will assist us along the way. We believe that the Bible does not need to be rewritten, but it needs to be carefully reread.
Click the link and register today to our wide variety of biblical courses.